it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com with match number 2. Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com with match number 4 with our Shamans. Yes, we like to play first. This is a beautiful hand. We have a first turn nothing, first turn Stomping Grounds into play tap. And then we do have Collect a Company, Eternal Witness. So there's a lot of decks that this is going to be great against. Anything we need to outvalue. Urza's Tower. Okay, so I like our game plan game 2 with the Fulminator Mages. But game 1 we need to just outrace. And I still think that we just play the Burning-Tree Emissary into nothing. Would have been great if we had a 2-drop here. Ooh, we can actually evoke the... You know what? This might actually be the right play. I think this is the right play. So we'll get in for 4. And most likely turn to Witness back at Wooded Foothills next turn. And we got to race the Tron. That will guarantee, though, we can collect a company and then hopefully raid Forger in for the win. He's got to be incredibly quick here. He's going to Ancient Stirrings to try to find his Tron. Wormcoil might actually not be able to... He's going to Sylvan Scrying. Yeah, so he's got the Tron. He's assembled it off the Sylvan Scrying and Chromatic Sphere and having the natural tower and power plant. This is how a lot of Tron matchups go. So Wormcoil we have to be very afraid of. Karn not so much. And we do have ways around Wormcoil Engine. Could have used that card last turn. So I'm just going to go get another... I think we can go get Stomping Ground. I'm not worried about life. And I am an Eternal Witness on the Wooded Foothills, guaranteeing that we collect a company next turn. And hope he doesn't have a Wormcoil Engine in hand. Ilgin is so-so. Karn. Karn is our worst, our least of our problems here. I think that he should exile a Stomping Ground. Oh yeah, that is not... We'll go the Wolf-Skull Shaman for sure. Bosk Banneret's not what we want to do. I could collect a company right now, but I think we'll just keep it up. Tack everything into him. He's down to a 10. Let me go get it right now with the Wooded Foothills. At this point, I think he needs to make me exile permanent. I'm hoping he casts it before he activates his Karn. So Chromatic Sphere, Pyroclasm would be tough if he has a Pyroclasm. Ancient Stirrings needs to not find a Wormcoil Engine. Finds a Wormcoil Engine. Womp womp. And he just needs to not throw down another Tron. He can still actually cast it with the Ghost Quarter, unfortunately. So, there goes that plan. So I need to hit like a Rage Forger, Rage Forger. Yeah, we still just get rid of the Bosk Banneret here. So see what we can find off the Collect a Company. Rage Forger, that's good. Elvish Visionary Rage Forger is really, really good. Unfortunately, we can't go Rage Forger, Rage Forger with Flamekin Harbinger. And the Wormcoil Engine is going to net him up just so much. I just think it's Elvish Visionary. Rage Forger. Bosk Banneret's nice because it's a free spell. But I hate to have him just have an Ugin. He can restart the game too, so we have to redirect 1 damage to Karn. Unless we just flat out kill him with the triggers, which I don't believe we can with the Wormcoil engine. So we need this Inner-Flame still, I believe. I don't think we can race this. The best case scenario would be another Collected Company, and then we'd have to find another Rage Forger, probably Rage Forger. Which would be very... We know one's on the... No, we don't know one's on the bottom, that's true. Well, we can go for it. So what would a Rage Forger do? It made 2, 4, 6, 7. But lifelink is gained at the exact same time. So he'd block the Burning-Tree Emissary. He would take an additional damage. What is better here? If I just Bosk Banneret and Rage Forger and attack with everything, does that net up enough? Collected Company would have to find double Rage Forger would be the only, and that would put 2 counters on everything. Putting 2 counters on everything would, and then I don't even have, I can't guarantee that I have enough. I think we just Bosk Banneret. And then Rage Forger. 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 off the bat. He can block he'll be able to block a 4, 4 and gain 6 life. So that will negate. And now we swing it with everything. We can't swing with the Bosk, though. So 8 right off the bat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He blocks the biggest and gains 6 life. So effectively, we'll do another 5. He's dead. Did I do this correctly? 5, 4. Does he go to a 1 here? Did I really mess up the... Wait a second, why is he up to an 8? He gained 6 life. He was down to a 2. What? Wait a second. Why did he not take any life off of the... He should have taken 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? Why did my creatures... Alright, so he blocked the Burning-Tree Shaman. He's at 2. He goes up to an 8. How in the world did he not take... Oh, I attacked Karn! I actually attacked Karn. That was incredibly my mistake. I did not even realize. Oh, that was ridiculous. So I just on the right clicking attack, I swear I clicked on his name. That was my bad. See if he's got Nugan to wipe my board even more, another Wormcoil Engine. I threw this game. My apologies. This is what happens on MTG. See if he's got a Pyroclasm. No, Pyroclasm won't do it. Ancient Stirrings, though, can find him another Wormcoil Engine. We have to find another Rage Forger. So not only do I not redirect 1 damage to Karn, yeah, that was the worst. He casts another Wormcoil Engine. If we do find a Rage Forger, we do win just off the top. Just off the... He can Chromatic Star, but it'll take the mana. You might as well use it to crack it. So my bad. I'll pay attention to the attacking. I think his best, he actually should attack in with the Wormcoil. Yeah, I think he should have attacked in. This allows me to find another Rage Forger. Alright, so let's do this right now. We will just get a Cinder Glade, and we'll Collective Company. Hope it finds us a Rage Forge. If not, I think this game is over. Oh, we find it. We find it, so it doesn't even matter. Okay, so now we'll attack in. Attack all creature at Dark Cloud. They're all going at Dark Cloud. Now I just have to stack these properly and not redirect the damage to Karn. I actually don't think it will matter because the first one will kill Karn and we'd still do 6. Hey, hey! Woo! So that Lucky Collective Company makes up for my terrible, terrible misplay. But we'll bring in Fulminator Mage, Magus the Moon, Blood Moon, Burning-Tree Shaman, Goblin Ruinblaster. We could actually even bring in Reclamation Sage for like a Wormcoil Engine. We can actually vial it in response to blocks, which I think might just be better than Nantuko Shamans. I don't know if I like this card. I don't think we bring in Scavenging Oozes. The Flamekin Harbingers are incredibly good in this one. Inner-Flame Acolyte, Burning-Tree Emissary, Wolf. I don't know if Wolf-Skull Shaman is vulnerable to Pyroclasm, so I think I'd take it out. Wild Beastmaster also, I think, is not the right card in this. I don't know if we want to try to go the Vial routes. I think we'd want to... I mean, first turn Vial is... I'm going to go down to 1 Vial in this particular case. I think that we want to rely on Collected Company more than just... If we draw the 1 Vial, we draw the 1 Vial. I still have to cut 2 cards, which I still like Burning-Tree Shaman over... And the Burning-Tree Emissary, though, does die to Pyroclasm. And the only thing that I can actually get with the Burning-Tree Emissary at this moment... I think I'm going to cut two of them. Might not be the right play, but I think we need to... Maybe Inner-Flame Acolyte. Giving haste to a Rage Forger. Yeah, we'll take out Inner-Flame Acolyte. No, I think I do want the 1-of. It's an extra damage, and on some cards it might be a lot more extra damage. Do I want to go Fulminator Mage? I think we do. We're going to submit this. Okay, so we do have the first turn Vial. That's very lucky of us. Yeah, it's a beautiful draw. We'll keep it. We have Reclamation Sage. He does have the Urza's Tower into a Chromatic Star. I hope he has a handful of Pyroclasms so they won't do much versus us. They'll clear like Elvish Visionaries. We'll have the first turn Vial. And there's a Rage Forger. We have another way to tutor up another Rage Forger as well. Stomping Grounds is fine. And we'll Vial. Next turn, we'll have a Flamekin Harbinger and a Visionary to lead us another Rage Forger. So we do have to race off like a quick draw. Burning-Tree Emissary wouldn't be terrible. There's the Mine. And does he have Scrying again? He does. Ay, ay, ay. The perfect Tron hand. See if he's got the Wormcoil Engine. Or another card like that. So, we will put the counter on the Vial. And Cavern for Shamans. And we will go ahead, cast an Elvish Visionary. Which draws us a card. Not too keen on that land. I guess I could have made sure that I drew into a Rage Forger there. But the turn 3 Tron just might get us. No paths or anything to get rid of Wormcoil Engines. We could push through Wormcoil damage. The problem with this is if it's either Karn or Ulamog here, Ugin, they're both very difficult to deal with. Now we can flash in a Reclamation Sage to kill a Wormcoil Engine. So we could go get Fulminator Mage now and kill off a piece of his Tron. But at this point, I think I think that might actually be better. He is going to stabilize massively with... At this point, I think I will just get a basic forest. So this allows us to... black, red, and 1. For the Fulminator Mage, we'll take out his tower. And then just pass the turn to him. So many ways. Yep, he just has another one in his hand. Of course. See if another Wormcoil Engine comes out. And it's going to be a Fire Spout. Too bad I don't have anything that can come in and do 3 damage to him. Off a 2-drop. Go down to a 10. He's up to a 26. We'll put one more counter on. The Vial. The Bosk Banneret's nice. We can get a Rage Forger for... two. So I actually don't know if I flash in the Rage Forger after Reclamation Sage off the Wormcoil Engine. Which I think at this point I do. So I'm just going to Reclamation Sage right now. Which might not be the right play, but I think getting rid of this Wormcoil, shutting down his life gain, is a decent strategy. The only way that we're going to come out of this is just terrible draws by Tron, and that's something that Tron doesn't do. Why people like this in deck so much is that it's very consistent with Sylvan Scrying Ancient Stirrings. It's easy to just play the exact same game over and over. He's got 2, 4, 6. He's got 9 mana. And yep, the chromatic spheres will just cycle themselves. He can actually kill off the Reclamation Sage. Yeah, I agree with that. So Rage Forger is pointless to flash in. We'll go down to a 4. And it's just collect couple we need to draw. Still don't think it can work because of Ugin. Fulminator Mage doesn't do a lot. Yeah, we're just going to go on to the next game. So on the play, do I want to try to be quicker is the question. I still think that I don't want to be vulnerable to Pyroclasm. So I'm just going to stick it at it. I think this is fine. Finding a Blood Moon is backbreaking to Tron. I don't know if he brought in anti-Blood Moon cards. Can't keep this hand, unfortunately. It does have the Collected Company and a... I can't keep this one either. Double Collected Company and a Fulminator Mage. Can't keep this one either. And this is about as good of a hand. So we get the very unlucky draw of the mulligan to 4. And I think that's going to be the end. And the deck does fine, though. This happens in Magic. He snap kept his hand, so I'm thinking he's got the exact same Tron. This is one of the things, deck that playing as Tron is very annoying. It's one of my least favorite matchups with any deck, just because it's so redundant. I mean, if there ever was a deck that tries to do the exact same thing every game, it's Tron. And the majority of their deck is just to cycle through their deck to find those pieces. So we'll go Burning-Tree Emissary into Bosk Banneret. And see if there's somehow... We need a Rage Forger off the top. So Visionary into Rage Forger would be the best. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be Ancient Stirrings or Sylvan Scrying, and he's going to have his Tron again. So 3 for 3 for a turn 3 Tron. Yep. And I assume he's got the Wormcoil Engine in his hand as well with the Snap Keep. And I don't think we're going to be able to race that even with the Rage Forger. Eternal Witness would be okay if we had like a fetch land or anything. I mean, the Visionary is great. Like another Visionary into another Visionary would be great here. But it's just another Eternal Witness. And there's the Tron. See if Wormcoil Engine comes down. And it does not so far, but this could be a Fire Spout. Ancient Stirrings for Urza's Tower. He has not played a land this... Yes, he did. Oblivion Stone. He got a tower, so if we were to draw into... No, even a Ruinblaster would not do it. Blood Moon, of course, would not do it either. Windswept's nice. Allows us at least to get up to that land count for the Collect the Company. We'll go ahead. I just think getting a Stomping Grounds and play tapped is fine. We could want just a basic forest because, yeah, I actually think a basic forest is good because if we draw into a Blood Moon. So the question is, do I just want to slap in an Eternal Witness? I don't think I do. I think we just attack in for 4. And we use Eternal Witnesses later on. Just hope he just has horrible cards in his hand, which, again, that'd be very lucky for us. So there's the other tower. Ugin would be very problematic. Karn would be very problematic. Wurmcoil Engine would be very problematic. We still can't kick a... Yeah, I probably should have Eternal Witness to guarantee a land drop. I'm just hoping to use the Oblivion Stone here, and then we can... He's going to scry for probably an Eye of Ugin, is what I'd get. And he does have the mana for the Oblivion Stone, so... There's Collect a Company. We'll go ahead and attack in. So we did actually get some nice draws out of this. And he does take the bait. So we still can draw out of this. So we'll Eternal Witness. And we'll Windswept for a Cinder Glade. And then we'll pass turn. So he's down to 13. He doesn't have a Wurmcoil Engine. He can use Eye of Ugin. It will take 7 mana. Best case scenario is we draw into a Blood Moon. Or he can just have an Ulamog in hand and take both the Cinder Glade, and that does, yeah, that is definitely a card that hurts. Burning-Tree Shaman, that would have been nice 9 years ago. We can't actually even Eternal Witness here. I believe that it's going to be game. We'll go into the wrap-up video. This has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching. Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com here with the wrap-up video for Shamans. Not a very strong showing. I thought a lot of those games were a lot closer than the stats showed us. I did like the deck. Did actually love the deck. A lot of the games were incredibly fun and kind of cliffhangers to see who could outdraw the other person. Would have liked to see another match versus Jund, another game at least versus Jund. But anyway, this is a list that I'm going to try. Not a very subtle changes to the deck. I think that I'm going to take out these Nantuko Shamans, and that gives us more room for possibly main-boarded Fulminator Mages. They might just be that good in the main board, but I think that, yeah, I think that that's probably the route that we'd want to go, or just main-boarded Scavenging Ooze. You know what, that actually might be the right play, because they do have synergy with Rageforger. They don't have the most synergy with other Shamans, but I think it's just a powerful enough card. Taking away Tarmogoyfs, taking away any of those Storm or Gristle Shoal or Living End, it seems like those players are still playing those decks even through the amount of needles, or excuse me, the amount of Relic of Progenitus that the format is seeing currently, which right now I do not suggest going a Graveyard-based strategy, just with how many Eldrazi decks are infesting the format with the Scrabbling Claws and Rest in Peace and I mean, these are main boarded cards, Relic of Progenitus, and so it's just, I hesitate to play a deck, and I used to be a Living End player, but I hesitate playing a deck that can just lose pre-sideboarded to hate cards. And I think that with Abzan and Jund running Scavenging Ooze main board, with the Eldrazi decks running the Relic of Progenitus main board, it is not a good time. But we keep losing to Living End, so we'll bring in some Scavenging Ooze in the main board. Still hits Tarmogoyf, so I think it's fine. Has the synergy at the Rage Forger. So speaking of which, we're going to run a 1 of Loaming Shaman. I think we can actually go to a 2 of Loaming Shaman in the sideboard. I still like the Fulminator Mages, the Magus Moon, Blood Moon, Reclamation Sage. You could make the argument for like a Lead the Stampede. We'll try a 1 of Lead the Stampede in the sideboard, because it's also a card I think that synergizes quite well with Aether Vial. It will usually find us like, you look at the top, 5 cards of the library, remove any number of creature cards from among them and put them in revealed in your hand. So when half of your deck, 50% of your deck, you're going to find 2.5 cards per Lead the Stampede. And sometimes you might get lucky and find the 5. We're using fetch lands to thin out the deck and whatnot. I'm added some Ghost Quarters. I think Ghost Quarters are great in this particular deck with Aether Vial. We did seem to get a little more lands than we wanted to see. I could actually even, you could make the argument for running like a Raging Ravine because we don't have anything better. In fact, we might want to go Raging Ravine, but it doesn't trigger with Rage Forger. What happens is it goes on the stack, and Rage Forger does not hit it with the +1 swim counter that goes off Raging Ravine. But I think it definitely is a card that we could try out. And so I think I'll add a Raging Ravine in here. Still want the Ghost Quarter though, still want the Caverns of Souls. I think this Cavern of Souls are the best. I'm not too certain we need all of like the Windswept, or maybe we just want, I still want the 2 of Stomping Grounds. So I think we'll just get rid of a Forest and try a Raging Ravine and just try a 1 of. And if we end up liking the card, we can add more. If we don't like the card, because you do want to hit your Vials consistently, you do want to hit your 2-drop consistently, but there will be a lot of games where you can actually just throw in the Raging Ravine tap, and yeah, we'll just have to wait and see if it ends up being a plus or a minus to this deck. I still like the 4 of Caverns of Souls. You can basically do anything with Caverns of Souls except Scavenging Ooze and the Collected Company green mana, and I think we have plenty of green sources. So at this moment now, we have the 2 of Lead the Stampedes that can go grab us like more Fulminator Mages, Goblin Ruinblasters, Loaming Shaman versus decks. So those are good versus. It can help us find like Oozes and Rage Forgers. Might just actually be better than the Flamekin Harbinger. I could see cutting down a Flamekin Harbinger for like even more Lead the Stampedes. But you don't want to have too many Lead the Stampedes and too many of Collected Companies in the same deck, because if you're cutting out cards like if you're cutting out 2 creatures for the Lead the Stampede, then our creature count goes down to 29, which is still acceptable, but it hurts both Collected Company and Lead the Stampede. But very fun deck. Again, I think that this deck, tribal decks get better as more sets are printed, and I'm very, very hoping that we get some sort of Shaman love out of like Shadows over Innistrad, and then we can have, I think that it needs another 2-drop or 3-drop to really solidify this, and then we can bring over, like, Wild Beastmaster is just kind of weird in this deck. I don't know how well I like this card either, or the Flamekin Harbinger. If it's like another Lord card on the same power level of Rage Forger, I don't know if we need the Flamekins. But I enjoyed this. I am interested in your comments in the comment section below. This has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching.